Hello and welcome to Bold Women Lawyers Spotlight. I'm Sharon Christie, the owner and founder of Bold Women Lawyers. I am a lawyer, and now through Bold Women Lawyers, I'm a coach for lawyers in solo and small law firms. And what I do is help people to get back on track, to learn how to make more money, work less hours, and love the work that they do. So today we're going to talk about quitting your law practice, quitting your solo law firm. And I know that probably sounds a little crazy, but we need to talk about it because if you haven't felt that way yet, you will. It's coming. And I can tell you, I ran a solo practice for 16 years. I felt that way, and I felt that way more than once, at least until I got myself on track and had a plan and a system to move my law firm forward. But here's what I experienced. I was really working hard. I was doing everything I knew to make the law firm work. I was so busy practicing law as well as trying to run the law business. I wasn't making the money that I thought I would make. I was constantly wondering, where's my next client coming from? And then I'd worry because I felt like I didn't have the right systems in place to handle the work that I already had. And I was worried about bills, and I had a team. I was worried about making payroll. I was worried. I spent a lot of time in the beginning being very worried. And then I thought, maybe I should just work harder. But I was already working really, really hard. So that wasn't the answer. I was already putting in enormous hours. I knew that wasn't the answer. And then I thought, well, no, the answer is work smarter. Great. What does that really mean? I had no idea how to work smarter. And in my heart, I knew that I wanted to make this law firm a success. And I thought, other people do it. Why can't I? Why can't I do it? And I certainly at times felt like a bit of a failure, but I really did want to quit. And then I thought, okay, well, now what happens if I quit? Well, if I quit, I have to go get another job, right? And that was what led me on the path to getting the help I needed to get straightened out. But let's start there. Let's start there. When you are at that point, you are really frustrated, you are worried, you don't know where the next dollar or client is coming from, you're not sure how you're going to make it, you're not sure how you can make this firm successful, okay? And you're there. So what do? I will tell you, first thing, step back, take a deep breath. And this is going to be different for each person, but do what you need to do to calm down. Maybe it's, take a long walk. Maybe it's take the rest of the day off. Maybe it's do some meditation. It's different for every single person. But do what you need to do to calm yourself, to calm your spirits, because you can't think this out and make a good decision if you're anxious. The worst decisions I ever made were out of desperation or anxiety. So you start and you just calm yourself down. And now ask yourself this question. Am I 100% committed to this law firm, to the success of this law firm? And you really need to do some deep self-reflection to answer that question. It's easy to say, oh, sure, I am. But are you 100% committed to doing whatever it takes to make it work? Now, when you really think about that question, for some people, the answer is going to be, no, I'm really not 100% committed to this. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes I think we get caught up in this idea that everybody should own their own law firm or small business. Everybody shouldn't. It's not for everybody. And if in your heart you know that you're not committed to it, that's okay. Because now that you've admitted that to yourself, now you can work on creating a plan to transition out of your own business into a job working for someone else or working for the government or, whatever you might be interested in. But you can make your plan to transition out in a way that protects you and certainly protects your clients. So if the answer is no, that's okay. And the next step then is to work on your transition plan. If the answer is yes, that's okay too. Because now you know that you're 100% committed. Your next step is going to be to figure it out, to work on your plan to get your house in order, to get your business in order, to figure out what your priorities need to be, right? In order to build a successful law firm. And you can start listing your priorities and listing the processes that you need to make all of that happen. And you can stop worrying once you implement this about where's the next client coming from? Where's the next dollar coming from? How do I handle all of this? But it starts with that question about your commitment. So if your commitment is, I'm in. For me, it was, I'm going to make this work come hell or high water. And I call that my hell or high water moment. But I absolutely, in my heart, said, I love the work I do. As a disability lawyer, I had transitioned from personal injury and med mal cases to disability. But, I didn't have any clients because I had been a PI lawyer and now I want to be a disability lawyer, and that's all great, but I got to figure out how to get the clients. Okay. But I was 100% committed to doing that because I had found an area of practice that for me fed my soul. That's what I call it. But I had reached a point where I'd had enough litigation. I didn't want to do that anymore for a whole lot of reasons that I'd be happy to discuss with you if you get on a clarity call with me. But nonetheless, it was time for me to get out. And I absolutely wanted to build this disability practice. I had seen other people who were successful in their disability practices, and that's what I wanted. And I was 100% committed to doing whatever it was going to take to make that happen. Okay. So that was step one, that commitment. Once I knew that that's where I was going, once I had made that commitment, my next step was to figure out, how am I going to do it? And I made a list of what are my biggest issues right now. Is it not enough clients? Is it not enough good clients? Is it too much work and I can't get it all done? What is it? And once I was able to get that list in place, it created, then I could look at what steps can I take to solve each problem. And, honestly, I got help. I got help because I realized that I was so busy trying to do the law work that I didn't have the time that I needed to put into developing the business, and I didn't have the expertise. I had never done that before. I had never done disability law, but I could learn that. I knew I could learn it. And I thought I could just figure out the business side. And it turned out I couldn't just figure it out. I needed to learn it and I needed help. So that was my path. I got a mentor, I got a coach. I started learning about business and running a business while I was practicing law. And that's how I was able to put everything together. So I have to ask you that are listening, when I ask you the question, are you 100% committed to your solo law firm or your small law firm? Are you 100% committed to it as a business? How do you answer that question? If your answer is yes, but I need help, that's great. Give me a call. Get to my website at boldwomenlawyers.com and book a clarity call. Let's talk about it. While you're there, download my Solo Success Guide. There's plenty of information there about the 3 pillars that you have to have in your law business to make it successful: your mindset, your marketing, and your management or your processes. There's lots of business tips in the guide. I think you'll find it helpful. And I'd love to talk to you about where you are in your business and what help you need. So, go there, boldwomenlawyers.com, and book a clarity call. Let's talk about your law firm.